Boruto vs Kawaki. That was the opening scene of the Boruto series. This drew most people into the series. It was a hell of an eye grabber. And I have to say, since this scene, the series has come a long way. And it seems like every single chapter, this battle gets closer and closer to actually happening. And not only does it get closer, new questions surrounding the fight get answered. Like, for example, when Boruto said to Kawaki, was this the only possible outcome? We didn't know what he meant by that when this scene first dropped. I mean, we kinda did know, but we didn't know the context behind it. It was because Boruto literally knows what's going to happen in the future because of prescience. And then when Kawaki said he'll send Boruto to where he sent the Hokage, we thought he unalived Naruto. But it turns out he was talking about another dimension. I mean, it makes sense, right? Ikimoto knew what he was doing all along with how vague the wording was. He definitely wanted us to believe certain things about this scene that was gonna get cleared up later. And we're still at the point where more details about this scene is getting revealed. More and more each year. And once we know everything, I'm guessing that's when we'll know that it's time for the final battle. But we're still a ways off from that. Fortunate for me, because I don't want the series to end. So I'm happy about that. You see, look, you can't tell, but I got a smile on my face when I said that. But yeah, there is still some question marks surrounding this scene. What I want to know the most is simply, what does Kawaki mean when he says the era of Shinobi is over? Now, if we follow the pattern of all the other quotes that was said during this fight, then maybe when Kawaki says the end of the Shinobi era, it could mean something completely different than we all think. Or it just may lack context. Because like the other quotes, this one lacks context as well. Well, maybe this one is a tiny bit more straightforward because unlike the other ones, we can literally see the proof. Like, Konoha is in ruins. I don't know if this is just a physical manifestation of Kawaki's ideology or Boruto and Kawaki's battle just being massively destructive. But I for sure think Kawaki is trying to destroy and rebuild something. Similar to what Sasuke wanted to do to the Shinobi world. Destroy the current system and rebuild a new world that's built off fear, hatred, and power. But of course, that's not quite Kawaki's goal here. His goals revolve around protecting Naruto. So it's more about how Shinobi are wired mentally more than how the current Shinobi world is, especially now in times of peace. So this is why when he says the Shinobi era is over, it lacks context. There's a lot of different meanings behind that phrase. But that's not what I really wanted to focus on today. I probably went too deep on that part, so let me just backtrack a little bit. Sometimes I have the habit of getting carried away when I'm talking about things like this. So let's just focus on one thing. How did Kawaki even adapt this mentality in the first place? Now you must think it had to be Kawaki just naturally learning more about the Shinobi world, causing him to despise the system more and more. But maybe it's deeper than that. Maybe the true culprit is someone that we never thought about. What if this is all Amato's doing? Now part of it, I truly believe that this is really Kawaki's ideology. This is the conclusion that he came up with according to information that he was fed on how the Shinobi world is. And why did I come to the conclusion that Amato may be a bigger part to Kawaki's character than we all think? Well, it all has to do with Kawaki's entire genetic makeup. From the start, it may have seemed like Ishiki had all the control over Kawaki, with the karma, the training, the mental abuse he put him through for years. No, he never really had true control over Kawaki like Amato has now. The difference between Amato's control over Kawaki and Ishiki's was that Amato never actually controlled Kawaki. Or that's what it seemed like to Kawaki. Amato controlled his actions in his mind without Kawaki ever truly feeling controlled. It sounds crazy, but it's true. Amato fed Kawaki the illusion of free will, when in reality, he's doing exactly what Amato envisioned for him. When Amato gave Kawaki the karma back, he knew that he would yearn for it because of his strong desire to protect Naruto. It overwhelms his hatred for the karma and Otsutsuki. That's control. Not only does Amato have complete control over Kawaki's body to be able to put a karma seal onto him and remove it at will, he has enough control over Kawaki's mind to make him believe that he needs it. Like, what Amato did was 100% wrong, and Kawaki knows what he did was wrong. But by this time, He already came to the conclusion that he needs this power, so there's no debating it anymore. Kawaki believes he is too weak without the karma. He believes his own strength will never be enough and that he needs to rely on the power of the Otsutsuki to help him reach his goals. And since Kawaki believes this now, wholeheartedly, that gave Amato everything he needed. Because now he has even more control. He can adjust how strong and weak Kawaki is with a click of a button. He can even make him go to sleep whenever he wants. And there's not a thing Kawaki can do to stop him now. All because of the control he gave to Amato 3 years ago. But Kawaki is blind to it. He's blind to it all because Amato is manipulating Kawaki by giving him what he thinks he needs to accomplish his goals. You see, this is a very advanced form of manipulation. You'll only see this in complete masterminds who are pros at doing this kind of thing. Now, taking it a step further, since Amato placed limiters on Kawaki, that's another way Amato controlled him, by taking away something that rightfully belonged to him and giving it back. He's feeding him the illusion that he just got stronger thanks to Amato, when in reality, it was his power all along. Amato just stole it from him. But like I said, he's now giving it back to delude Kawaki into thinking that he can offer him even greater power. Although Amato was thrown off by Boruto being the one to tell Kawaki about the limiters, he still expected Kawaki to find out sooner or later, and ultimately, come seeking the power that rightfully belonged to him. But we see, when Kawaki asked Amato to give him his power, Amato did just that. He gave him power. But he purposely held back. Again, he's making Kawaki believe that he is the answer to go to for more power, the thing that he wants, or believes that he wants. If Kawaki doesn't yearn for power, then Amato loses all leverage. So it's important Amato has him coming back for more and more. Now, this is why he had to hold back. He had to leave something to offer to Kawaki when he inevitably came back for even more power. So he couldn't propose the Toad idea yet. It simply wasn't time. Now that Kawaki has faced Jura and knows just how powerful he is, this works in Amato's favor, because now he knows that he needs to go crawling back to him for more power. And if Amato has nothing to offer Kawaki when he came back to him at this point specifically, he loses all his value in Kawaki's eyes, so he might end up unaliving him, or at least he wouldn't think twice to do it if he angered him like he usually does. As long as Amato keeps feeding Kawaki the illusion that he needs him, Amato's life is safe, and nobody, I mean nobody, will be able to even get close to him, because now Kawaki is Amato's puppet. So how did Kawaki officially become Amato's puppet, you ask? Well, that's simple. It all happened in chapter 35. Look here, Amato's final offer to Kawaki was to give him 100% offense just like he asked. But now, Amato convinced Kawaki to wear a toad on his neck at all times, which gives Amato direct control over his body and all of his power. Again, I don't know if you caught it yet, but yes it is. This is another form of control and manipulation, but I'd say this is a more direct approach that Amato is taking now. Now it's really like Kawaki is a puppet, because Amato determines everything. Since Kawaki has given up his power to the karma, he's given Amato even more power. So this proves that Amato has Kawaki in the midst of his palm now, and most of all, he's most likely behind the scenes giving Kawaki the power to face off against Boruto on top of the Hokage monument. We'll just go with the scarf theory for now and say that Kawaki is hiding the toad under this scarf that Amato made for him. A scarf that can block out clairvoyant power. So just like Sasuke had a smoke bomb that blocked out the X-ray vision from the Byakugan, Amato can do that for the scarf that he will give to Kawaki. That way Boruto won't be able to see Kawaki's secret. He won't be able to see the truth, that Kawaki's being manipulated by the man behind the scenes. Other than this, do you believe there's a chance that even Kawaki's ideology about the Shinobi system may not all belong to him? What if I told you that Kawaki was told something that influenced his crash out? But if true, it would have to be done by someone that knows how to make Kawaki tick. Someone that aligns with Kawaki's goals. Someone like Amato. You see, I believe that Amato is a deeper character than we may have anticipated. He already has complete control over Kawaki physically, emotionally, and mentally. And we're seeing it in real time now. Look at how Amato was effortlessly able to make Kawaki help him hunt down Kashin Koji and take him down. This is only the start to their new alliance. This isn't the last time Amato will make Kawaki do his bidding, because Kawaki's power as a whole is conditional. He told Kawaki that he will grant him power, but only if you do something for me. Amato gave Kawaki conditions. He's training Kawaki to believe that power comes with a price, and as long as he cooperates, he'll get what he wants in the end. So in that sense, he wouldn't think twice to work with Amato. But he's not really working with him, and it's not really an alliance per se. It's really a dictatorship. That's the word closer to what I mean. But to Kawaki, it's an alliance because that's the illusion that Amato fed to him using these advanced manipulation tactics. What if Amato has animosity towards Shinobi? What if Akabe's death is related to Shinobi? It's all starting to make sense, because if this is true, it makes sense as to why Kawaki has suddenly adopted the mindset that the Shinobi system needs to go. The information was fed to him by Amato, but he let Kawaki transmute this information to relate it to his desire to protect Naruto. I swear, these two kind of remind me of Paragus and Broly in a way. It's weird, but that's the vibe they give. All in all, once we discover more about Amato and what really happened to Akabe, we can kind of start to understand Amato's character more. Like, is he really a driving force behind Kawaki's idea to end the Shinobi system? These feelings could have belonged to Amato first. The clues are all there too. The timing of Akabe's death, linking up the key elements in the Boruto series like Kawaki's father becoming unstable, Boruto's birth, and potentially Kawaki's mother and what happened to her. So all these links must be connected before we know the complete truth behind this scene here. And it could potentially all be linked back to Amato. Let me know what you all think. Is Amato really the driving force behind Kawaki's crash out? And if you do believe so, what did Amato do to cause it? Go ahead and leave all your thoughts and ideas on the situation down below in the comment section. And of course, without further ado, if you all enjoyed this video and don't mind seeing more like this in the near future, go ahead and like the video, comment, subscribe, and turn on the post notifications so you don't miss another video like this or when I go live for chapter spoilers. And until my next one, I'll see you boys and girls later, and I'm out. Peace.